Occurred on July 21, 2025, when its Air Force F-7BGI fighter jet crashed into a school. This incident happened shortly after the jet took off from an airbase during a routine training flight. We'll look what caused the crash, how did it happen, more details all in the video ahead. At around 1:06 p.m. local time, a Bangladesh Air Force F-7BGI training jet lifted off from BAF base Bur Ludum AK Khan Kur in Dhaka. At the controls was Flight Lieutenant Tukur Islam Sagar, embarking on what was meant to be his first solo fighter mission. There was a routine training flight, one of many that take place regularly in the skies over the capital. But only moments after takeoff, something went wrong. A technical malfunction struck the aircraft, causing it to stall and become unresponsive. From the control tower came a swift command for the pilot to eject, but the plane was already flying too low. There simply wasn't enough altitude for a safe ejection. Fully aware of the danger, Flight Lieutenant Sagar fought to regain control. He tried to steer the stricken jet away from populated areas, aiming for open ground. But time and altitude were against him. Sometime between 1:10 and 1:15 p.m., the aircraft crashed near the main gate of Milestone School and College in the Uttara area of Dhaka. It struck the side of a two-story building while classes were still underway. Hundreds of students were inside at the time. The aircraft struck the side of the structure, tearing through iron railings and creating a massive breach in the wall. The impact occurred while classes were in session and the campus was crowded with students, teachers, and parents, many of whom had come to pick up their children. Seconds after the crash, a powerful explosion shook the area, followed by a fire that engulfed part of the building. Thick black smoke poured into the sky and was visible across the Uttara neighborhood, triggering panic and chaos as rescue efforts began. At least 27 people lost their lives, including the pilot and many schoolchildren between 8 and 14 years old. And more than 170 people were injured, many of them in critical conditions. Let's take a quick look at the S-7, which is a Chinese-built multi-role fighter aircraft developed by Chengdu Aircraft Corporation. It is an advanced variant and export version of the Chengdu J-7, itself a derivative of the legendary Soviet MiG-21. The S-7 is designed to offer upgraded avionics, improved pilot interfaces, and superior weapons capability, targeting air forces in need of cost-effective yet capable fighter solutions. Let's look at some of the causes that resulted in this technical error. With time, even modernized fighter jets begin to show signs of fatigue. After over a decade of high-performance operations, materials start to wear down. Structural stress accumulates in key areas like the engines, control surfaces, and hydraulic systems. This kind of fatigue can lead to critical mechanical failures, especially in fast, high-altitude flight. Another growing issue is the availability of spare parts. Since production of the J-7 or F-7 series ended in 2013, sourcing new, high-quality components has become increasingly difficult. Maintenance teams often have to rely on refurbished or second-hand parts, which may not always meet the same performance standards. This raises concerns not just about reliability, but about overall flight safety. There's also a troubling history to consider. The Bangladesh Air Force has experienced several accidents involving F-7 variants over the years. Investigations into past incidents have frequently pointed to mechanical issues as the underlying cause. In both the 2018 and 2025 crashes, the aircraft involved had similar service lifespans, suggesting that aging airframes may be contributing to the pattern. While the S-7 remains a symbol of a long-serving fleet, the risks associated with older military aircraft are becoming harder to ignore. But crashes also affects many of our fighter jets, planes, and helicopters just over the past several months. At Naval Air Station North Island, key hub for military aircraft, you'll find the San Diego International Airport just north of the base. Nearby is runway 29, a critical strip often used by military jets. Here's what happened. Around 10:15 a.m., a U.S. Navy EA-18G Growler from Electronic Attack Squadron V-8Q-135 was in flight when it developed a mechanical glitch, likely exacerbated by weather conditions at the time. Light rain and fog had reduced visibility to just 4 to 8 miles, complicating the situation. When a critical error message lit up the cockpit, the jet's warning systems activated instantly. The two crew members made a split-second decision to eject, escaping the aircraft moments before it plummeted nose-first at a 60-degree angle into San Diego Bay. The plane crashed with its landing gear still deployed, sending a massive plume of water erupting into the air. What's chilling about this incident? The jet went down mere miles from densely populated neighborhoods and the naval base Coronado Airport. Had the pilots ejected even a few seconds later, or had the jet's trajectory shifted slightly, this could have been a catastrophe on the ground. A quick note regarding the confusions and the primary difference between these two aircrafts. The EA-18 Growler is specifically designed for electronic warfare, while the FA-18 Super Hornet is a multi-role fighter aircraft designed for both air combat and strike missions. Interestingly, in the past 2 months, there have been multiple major plane crashes. On January 28, 2025, an $85 million F-35 jet crashed in Alaska. The following day, on January 29, an American Airlines plane collided with a Black Hawk helicopter. Then, on January 31, 2025, a medical plane went down for unknown reasons. In addition to these recent incidents, South Korea experienced a plane crash on December 29, 2024, when an aircraft struck an antenna. Just days earlier, on December 25, 2024, an Azerbaijani plane was hit by a Russian Pantsir missile. And finally, on the 13th of February 2025, we have this most reliable Navy jet crashing into the sea. For the third time in less than a year, a U.S. Air Force F-35 Lightning II, a stealth fighter, with a staggering $82 million price tag, has crashed. The latest incident occurred on Tuesday, the 28th, 2025 at 12:49 p.m. during a training exercise at Alaska's Eielson Air Force Base. The pilot managed to eject safely, but the jet was completely destroyed with its wreckage left burning inside.